Hey guys, what's up? We're going to do a review for chapter 3. Hit that theme. Remember that theme. Go back and watch the video because that theme is going to help you remember what's going on here about religion and the colonies, economy, geography. Watch that video. It's 2 to 3 minutes long. Get that theme. Here we go. We're going to knock out this note sheet real quick. Make sure you have all the information. Remember that colonization, expansion of countries into other countries, expanding their empires, a government and institution in which society makes and enforces public policies, freedom, the power, right to speak, think, or do whatever you please, protest, making a strong public disagreement, war, and organized conflict. All right. So remember here now we're going to go through the colonies, the 13 colonies, the British colonies. Remember that's what they were. At the end of the French and Indian War, the 7 Years' War, King George put out that proclamation of 1763 that forbid British subjects to go move out west past the Mississippi. Well, they got really mad at that and wind up fighting a war with France, and we take all their lands. Bang. Now we're talking about the colonies on the East Coast. What do we have? We have the southern colonies, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Remember this about the southern colonies, or remember this about all the colonies. We're going to talk about geography plus climate equals economy. That's what you need to know because that's important because it still shapes the way our country is today. Southern economies, long, hot growing season, long, hot summer, short, mild winter, rich, fertile soil, very, very good for the plantation farming. So the plantation farmers in the South, big farms, grew things like tobacco, rice, indigo, and had slaves. Okay, that's what you've got to totally remember about the South. The South had the slaves. You had John Smith, who was like a good founder of Jamestown. He was there to get them secure. He was there to help them go because Jamestown was floundering. John Rolfe planted that first seed of English tobacco in the colony. So he's the guy who brought tobacco in. And remember about the South, tobacco is going to be the main export. Tobacco is going to be the main export for 150 years or so because you have to remember Durham in North Carolina here is all about tobacco. We still grow tobacco now. Okay, so that's what the South is: plantation farming, slaves, tobacco. New England colonies, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Remember, they have long, harsh winters, short, mild growing season, so they don't grow very much stuff. They have little subsistence farming, but they're more about trading, fishing, whaling. Okay, they have a lot of ports up there. They have rocky soil, not very good. You have the Pilgrims that arrived. They were the separatists, Massachusetts, separate from the English church, the Church of England. They wanted to separate from it. Those are the guys who were created the first Thanksgiving with the Native Americans. All right, Squanto, tough stuff like that. Remember, the Pilgrims came over here, and then the Puritans came over about 10 to 15 years later, and they wanted to purify the Church of England. They wanted to make it better. They came over here, and actually the Puritans were connected with things like the Salem witch trials. All right, and like we said, the rocky soil, short growing season means that it had a fishing, lumbering, and small household. The last colonies here, we're going to go over the middle colonies: Delaware, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Remember, New York's kind of different than the other three because of their long, their harsh winters and short summers. But New Jersey, Delaware, parts of Pennsylvania, you got to remember that they had like a moderate growing season, a pretty fair growing season, shorter winters. They had a fertile soil, which grew things like wheat, oats, and barley. Okay, so those wheats, oats, and barley made the middle colonies nickname the Breadbasket Colony because wheat is a main ingredient of bread. So the Breadbasket Colony is in the middle. You had William Penn, who founded Pennsylvania for Quakers, and Quakers on your note sheet, they're that religious group of people who are like friends and very peaceful. So then at the end of what's going on here in the middle, from 1754 to 1763, we start talking about the French and Indian War, which happens to be between England and France, fought over the Ohio River Valley because it's so lush and fertile. Known to us here in America as the French and Indian War. Britain wins the war. At the end of the war, 1763, they signed the first Treaty of Paris. So the Treaty of Paris is signed, and part of that is the Proclamation of 1763, where a king says that British subjects, cannot move past the Mississippi River because they didn't want to have war with the Native Americans. So that pretty much just left Britain and Spain. So in North America, so Spain gets everything west of the Mississippi. England gets all of France's claims to land in everything from the Mississippi eastward to the 13 colonies and part of Canada. So now we only have Britain and Spain in North America, United States as we know it. And that's going to go, we're going to go lead into the Revolutionary War. So good luck on this test. Study your note sheet and you'll do great.